Hello children, Nagalakshmi ma'am here. Happy to meet you all again. Once again, we shall talk about the new lesson, chapter 3 in political science, state government. Whenever we see this beautiful Vidhan Saudha, we feel very proud. This is the iconic place in Karnataka. Today, let us learn about state legislature, what are its function, and let us know more about state government. In this chapter, we will be studying the three important organs of the state legislature, how does it function, and as we all know, the Union of India comprises of 29 states and 6 union territories. The state government follows the model of the central government and it has got the three important organs. In the previous chapter, we studied about union government. Similarly, here also the state functions through the legislature, executive and the judiciary. The state government through the legislature frames laws on the subject under the state list and it implements them in the state. Whatever the laws made by the state legislature is applicable within the state. Even the state government has got the two houses like the parliament, whereas in some states, depending upon the population of that state, it will have the houses. In some states, there is only one house, that is lower house. But in Karnataka, our state legislature has got two houses. One is the lower house, which is called Legislative Assembly, and the upper house called as Legislative Council. Here is a map of Karnataka, and whatever the laws made by our state legislature is applicable to all the districts in Karnataka. The three branches of state government are legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature makes the law, executive puts that law into practice or implements that law, whereas judicial branch of the government interprets the law and it also protects the constitution. Now let us know more about our state legislature. Our state legislature is composed of governor and the two houses. The upper house is called Legislative Council or Vidhana Parishad, whereas the lower house is called Legislative Assembly or Vidhana Sabha. The Legislative Assembly or the lower house represents the people, whereas the Legislative Council, it represents the various elected members who are chosen from various fields. Now let us see how our lower house or Vidhana Sabha is formed. The strength of the Vidhana Sabha depends once again on the population of the state. So the maximum number of the seats of any Vidhana Sabha should not exceed 500. That means the member should not be more than 500 or below 60. The below 60 means the minimum should be 60. Maximum number of members should be 500. The governor can nominate one member from Anglo-Indian community if he feels that they are not represented properly. Once again, it is the discretion of the governor. However, the number of seats in small state is less. Though we have said 60 is the minimum. For example, in Mizoram and in Goa, it is not 60. There are only 40 members. Whereas if we want to concentrate on our Karnataka or our state legislature, our Vidhana Sabha in Karnataka comprises of 225 members. In that 225 members, 224 members, they are elected directly from the people of Karnataka, whereas one Anglo-Indian community is nominated. Nominated means he is chosen, not through election. He is nominated or selected or chosen from the governor. Here is a beautiful picture of Vidhana Saudha. As I said, it is our prestigious building in Bangalore. As we see many interesting points about Vidhana Saudha. As a interesting view, let us know little bit information. Let us try to know about our Vidhana Saudha. Vidhan Saudha is located in Bangalore. It is the state legislature seat. It is a very beautiful imposing building and it is constructed during the Mysore Wadayar's family. It is having Mysore Neo-Dravidian and incorporates the element of Indo-Saracenic and Dravidian style. The construction was completed in the year 1956. Kengal Hanumantaya was mainly responsible for this, and our Vidhan Saudha was constructed by the prisoners who were there in the jail. It is said that after they constructed, that prisoners were given reward, that is they were released from the jail, and it is very huge building. Hope you all might have seen our Vidhan Saudha. So it gives the complete description how big it is. The cost of the construction at that time was just 17.5 million rupees, but presently it is said that the annual maintenance cost itself is more than 20 million rupees. This is just a slide to give you more information about our Vidhana Saudha. Now let us see what are the important qualifications which are necessary to become the Legislative Assembly member. So first of all, he should be a citizen of India, and secondly, he have to complete 25 years of age. Whoever wants to contest as a member to Legislative Assembly, his age should be 25 and above. Thirdly, he should not be employed in any office of profit of the government. If he is already serving the government or if he is already employed in any government office, he has to give a resignation before contesting in the election. Fourthly, he should not have been punished by any court of law. Fifthly, he should not be of unsound mind. That means he should not be insolvent or mad. Sixthly, he should not be an insolvent, as I said. Seventhly, he should possess all the qualifications which are decided by the Parliament from time to time. Now, what is the term of office? The members of Legislative Assembly, which is also called Vidhana Sabha, the members are elected for a term of 5 years. But if the Assembly members do not enjoy the confidence, then the House can be dissolved before the 5 years on the recommendation made by the Cabinet. At that time, the state will directly come under the President's rule. If the members do not intend to continue in the Assembly, then also they can submit their resignation to the Speaker. The Speaker and the Deputy Speakers, they are elected from among the elected members of the Legislative Assembly. The proceedings of the House are carried on under the chairmanship of the Speaker. Speaker has the functions of maintaining the peace, dignity and decorum of the House, summoning and postponing the meeting. Summoning means he can call the meeting, he can postpone the meeting, and he also has the responsibility of protecting the rights of all the members in the Assembly. And whenever there is a tie, when voting takes place, that time Speaker has got a special right to cast his vote, and that vote will become the decisive vote. Then the bill will receive the equal number of votes. Whenever the bill receives equal number of vote or tie, then the Speaker puts the decision vote, and whichever vote he has supported, that bill can be converted into a law. Here is a picture of our Vidhana Sabha Legislative Assembly, how the session takes place, and we should feel very happy because in India our Vidhana Sabha in Karnataka is the biggest legislative assembly in the India. Now let us see what are the powers and functions of our Legislative Assembly. As the name itself suggests, legislative powers means making the law. The power has got the power it has entrusted with framing of laws. All the laws are made which are mentioned in the state list and also in the concurrent list. State government do not have the right to frame the laws in the central list. The bills have to be passed by both the houses before they are sent to governor for his signature. The governor may send certain bills to the president for his approval depending upon the subject on which it is made. So that comes under legislative powers. As I said, in the union government, before it becomes a law, it is called as a bill. Any bill can originate either in the legislative assembly or in the legislative council. So that is called as legislative power. Now, what are the financial power? The legislative assembly has got greater power than the legislative council in the matter of finance. As we discussed in the union government, what all the functions performed by Lok Sabha is very much similar to the legislative assembly or Vidhana Sabha. Rajya Sabha can be compared to Vidhana Parishad or legislative council. The functions of president are similar with the functions of the governor. And since the legislative assembly members are directly elected by the people, they have more power in financial matter. All the financial bill has to be originated only in the legislative assembly. Without the consent of legislative assembly, not even 1 rupee can be spent by anybody. So the financial bill has to be first presented in the legislative assembly, then it goes to the upper house, legislative council. Though the legislative council does not have the power to reject any financial bill, it can hold the bill only for 14 days. What happens if they do not send back the bill? After 14 days, if the Vidhana Parishad or legislative council fails to send the bill, then it is assumed or considered that they have accepted the bill and it is forwarded to the governor for his approval. That means the consent of legislative council is not that important compared to the lower house. These are the points you have to remember under financial powers of legislative assembly. Then any financial bill, as is explained already, it can be holded only for 14 days by Vidhana Parishad. If they do not send it back, then it goes to governor for the approval or for his signature. The third one is administrative powers. The state executive, it is responsible for the legislative assembly and they will enjoy the power as long as they have the confidence from legislative assembly. Each member of the council of minister, they are individually accountable, they are answerable to the whole legislative assembly. The council of ministers, they are accountable. They have to give the satisfactory answers to the members of legislative assembly in the question hour. They are the administrative powers, and this administrative power is enjoyed by legislative assembly. Electoral power. The elected members of legislative assembly, they also have the power to elect the president. They participate in the election of president. They participate in the election of Rajya Sabha or upper house of union government and legislative council, speaker, deputy speaker of the assembly. In all this election, the elected members of legislative assembly actively they participate. What are the other powers apart from this? The legislative assembly, they can discuss any bill passed by the parliament if there is a need, and the reports of the state public service commission and other reports are also discussed in the lower house of the state legislature. So here is a picture of our upper house of state legislature, that is called Vidhana Parishad or legislative council. Now let us see how our legislative council is formed. Upper house of the state legislature is called legislative council or Vidhana Parishad. The strength of this house is 1/3 of the legislative assembly of the state. However, it should not be less than 40. This is the reason why in some states they do not have legislative council. The number of members of Karnataka legislature is 75, whereas lower house is 225, whereas upper house has got 75 members, and these members represent 5 areas. They are elected from different areas like legislative assembly, local bodies, graduates constituency, teachers constituency. So recently you might have observed that there was an election for teachers constituency. So whoever wins in that election, they will be representing the teachers constituency. The governor has also got the right to nominate some members who are experts in the field of art, literature, cinema, education, sports, social service, science, like this. And you have to keep one point in your mind that legislative council is a permanent body. It cannot be dissolved, whereas the lower house can be dissolved before 5 years of term. Now, what are the qualifications required to become the member of legislative council? Firstly, he should be a citizen of India. He should have completed 30 years of age, and he should possess all the qualifications required to become MLA. MLA means member of legislative assembly. The term of the office of member is 6 years. You have to just recollect how we discussed the qualification of Rajya Sabha. The same thing applies here also. Every 2 years, 1/3 of the member of legislative council gets retired and another 1/3 member enter into the upper house of the state legislature. The speaker and the deputy speakers, they are chosen from among the members. The speaker assumes the chairmanship during the proceedings. Whenever the session takes place, the speaker occupies the post of chairman and he ensures the dignity and decorum of the house. Now, what are the powers of legislative council? All bills may be presented in either house, or any house can present any bill except the money bill or financial bill. Financial bill or money bill has to be presented only in the legislative assembly. After the bill is approved in one house, it is sent to the other house. The legislative council can withhold any bill for 3 months. However, when the same bill is sent to the legislative assembly for the second time for the reconsideration, then the council should approve it within 1 month. That is the time duration which is given to the legislative council to withhold any bill. If it does not do so, then what happens? It will be understood that both the houses have approved the bill and it will be sent to the governor for his signature. These are the legislative powers of upper house of the state legislature. Now, what are the process of creation of an act? We say no, the rule is rule even for a fool. All the rules and regulations, all the laws made by the state legislature has to be obeyed, followed and respected by the state citizens or all the people in that particular state. How the law is made? Before it is made, it is called as a bill. So, when any house presents the bill, what happens? How do they actually present the bill? Firstly, first reading takes place. The person who tables the bill reads out the text loudly. That is, they will write in black and white, and whatever they want to read or whatever the law they want to implement before it is called as a bill. That bill is going to be presented in the house. They will read out the matter loudly so that everyone can hear. After that, the second reading takes place. The same bill is read again. In the second reading, a discussion will take place, or the bill may be sent to respective house committee. Suppose if all the members have accepted in the first reading itself, then there won't be any discussion. It goes to the House committee. Then the committee deliberates on the bill and it submits its reports to the Legislative House. When it is submitted, the House can either approve the bill or reject the bill. Both the choice is there. Either they can approve or they can reject the bill after discussion. Then what is the next stage? The third reading takes place. In the third reading, the House can discuss the bill orally. Oral discussion takes place once again after the approval. Suppose if the members do not approve in any of the houses, then the bill collapses or the bill cannot become a law. And if it is approved, the bill would be sent to another house, and if this house also completes all the same proceeding, first reading, second reading and the third reading, then the bill is sent for governor's approval. If the governor approves, then the bill becomes act. So the governor do not enjoy any special power, but he can give some suggestion, he can give some recommendations on the bill, but it is left to the choice of that particular house either to accept it or to reject. And if they want, they can consider those recommendations made by the governor, then they will send the same bill to the governor. Then the bill has to be signed by the governor. Governor cannot force, governor cannot exercise his power telling that you have to accept my recommendations made, because the people who are elected in the Legislative Assembly, they are directly elected. That is why the voice of the House prevails, and the governor may also forward it to the President for approval. Not all the bill, but some bills he can send for President for the approval. As soon as the governor puts the signature, then the bill becomes the law. Here is a picture. You can see how the reading of the bill takes place. All the other members, they too have the copy and they are just listening and observing what are the contents in that bill. So you can see here our former speaker, Mr. Ramesh, he is addressing in the session. This is how the discussion takes place. Do you know who is the present speaker of our legislature? I mean the lower house of the state legislature? Not Mr. Ramesh. Now it is Vishweshwara Hegde Kageri. He is the present speaker of our Vidhana Sabha. Who is the present governor of Karnataka? Yes, here it is a picture. The present governor of Karnataka, who is appointed by the president, is Mr. Vajubhai Vala. Let us know little information about our present governor. Vajubhai Rudhabhai Vala. He was born in 13th January 1939 and presently he is serving as the governor of Karnataka since September 2014. Vajubhai served as the Speaker of Gujarat Legislative Assembly from 2012 to 14. He is still a member of Bharatiya Janata Party. He served as a cabinet minister in the government of Gujarat, holding various portfolios such as finance, labor and employment. From 1997 to 2012, he worked holding the different posts. He was elected to Gujarat Legislative Assembly from Rajkot West constituency multiple times. This information is only for you to get more knowledge about our governor. It is not there in the textbook, just I felt like sharing with you all. Okay, now what are the financial powers of upper house of our state legislature? The Legislative Assembly has got greater powers over financial matter as we have discussed earlier, whereas the upper house, that is Vidhana Parishad, they can hold the bill for 14 days, and even after 14 days if they do not send the bill back, it is understood that they have accepted, then the House sends the same bill for governor for his approval. They are the financial power of Vidhana Parishad or Legislative Council. What are the administrative powers? The Legislative Council does not have much control over administration, but it can obtain information by posing questions to ministers. Whenever there is a session, there will be a questioning hour. During that time, They can ask number of questions to get satisfactory answer. If the questions are not answered properly, then what happens? It can only insist on the minister's resignation but cannot move a no confidence motion. They can insist the minister to give the resignation, but they do not have the right to issue no confidence. No confidence means that we are not supporting the government. What are the other discretionary powers of Legislative Council? It carries on debates about the government's programs, policies, decisions and acts. So recently there was a discussion in our Vidhana Parishad 2 days before about the opening of the school, or to once again reinforce Vidyagama program, or they also suggested that 10th standard and 12th standards can be started on the shift system. All that you might have observed in the television. That is the meaning here. That means they can debate about the government programs, as this is the House of Elders, because 30 years is the minimum age required to become the member of Legislative Council. This house also got another name, that is House of Elders. So the debates are carried on in a very serious manner in the Legislative Council. So though this lesson has got more information about state executive, the governor, his qualification and functions, and the appointment of the chief minister and his function, but since the portions are reduced to 30%, if you study till here, whatever you have seen in this video, that is sufficient for your examination. So you can glance in the textbook, take out page number 69, study again, and hope you all have understood today about the state legislature. Thank you.